just friends. This is a similar video to the last one I did, however there's a slight difference and I will explain said slight difference. First, oh whoa, she is bright. The last thing I did was prepping for what's to come, and then this video is more like closing up what's already happened, but they're kind of the same in a way, because really they mean the same thing, but there are different things that I do for each one. These are really niche, really specific, so this is probably not going to resonate with most people, so you're gonna have to bear with me. First things first, as someone who does spiritual stuff online, and like if you've followed me for a while, I used to do it on YouTube. Mostly now I only do it on Twitter. I basically do a free intuitive question for people, like all my followers, on Twitter every Tuesday at 4:44 p.m. That is a weekly thing. I literally, from December, schedule that. So I schedule 52 tweets, so like once for every week of the following year, so that I don't have to do it in the following year and I can just focus on responding to the comments. Alongside that, I also do like free intuitive / tarot content that's more generalized and for the collective, like signs and stuff like that, every Monday around 4:44 p.m. again. That's like channeled messages, whatever. If you know, you know. That is also scheduled, but I do that every month, so I schedule like before the month ends, I schedule for the next month. So I've done that, and then at the end of December I'll do that again for January, and so on and so forth. Again, it's just because it's easier to do that all at once rather than in the moment. So things like that, I basically schedule anything that needs to be scheduled. Yeah, that helps me essentially, just like save time. So all of that's done. Like my yearly kind of content for Twitter is ticked off. Things like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, I film / create a lot closer to the time, so that's not something I need to do for like to wrap the year up, so that's not on the to-do list. Other things, however, will kind of blend into everything else. So for example, today when I'm filming this, I changed my profile picture on like all my socials, on my email and everything. That might seem super random, but I see it as like an energy refresh. I kind of tried to do it every 6 months. And yeah, this was my 6-month change. I try not to have it for any longer than I like, but usually I'll stick to something for quite a while. But yeah, I tried to change it every 6 months because I just feel like everything holds on to energy, and I feel like I need an energy change, especially when the year is closing out. So tick, done that. You'll see my new profile picture down below. Similarly, but not quite, I do a lot of other changes similar to that, but for myself, like not for like online stuff. So for example, my Spotify, I went through I think maybe 6 years where I had the same picture for all of my Spotify playlists. Then I changed it, then I changed it again, and then I just wasn't connected, I guess, to what I kept changing it to. And then I found one recently. I'll show you guys actually, like, what that I really like. So you can follow my Spotify as well. My Spotify is public. You can't really see it, but it says my name on that one. So they all look like this. Come on, there we go. And then I have, I think, 1 or 2 folders. If you don't know, you can turn your thing into folders only via desktop. I just have it in folders because it's a lot easier for me. I have one of my folders, I think it's my, hold on, movie folder. No, I'm wrong. Nostalgia? Yeah, it's my nostalgia folder, where all of them are opening credits to movies. So I love this. I also think, like, the mishmash, usually because they're in folders, it looks good, whereas if they were apart it wouldn't look so good, but I can deal with it. I have OCD if it's not clear, but I can deal with it because they're compartmentalized. So then I loved it so much, like the envelope ones especially, that I changed my entire Notion to look like this. Let me show you. Where is my Notion? No, where is my Notion? Yeah, if you know me, you know I'm addicted to Notion. I've used it every single day for 5 years straight. No exaggeration. Doesn't matter where I was, I used it at least once. I use it to, oh, it logged me out, that's why. I use it, not past tense, I use it, present tense, to organize literally everything in my life. So that's fun. I can't live without it. Also, I hate this thing recently, sorry, this is a random tangent, but recently they've rebranded as like an AI workspace, and it's never ever been an AI workspace. They've just implemented new AI features which you don't need to use. Like, it's not integral to the base of the platform. So I have no clue why they've done that. So unnecessary. But yeah, it's not AI. Like, the main features are not AI, they have never been AI, so I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. Why is this so... Okay, that's a bit better. So now you can see on my Notion, obviously I've got these images, but then when you go onto one of the main pages, I've got my little envelope again. And then you can also see I used the movie thing for the banner. I do not like it at the moment, so I'm trying to decide before the year ends what to change that to, because I'm not fucking with it. Like, I think it's just because of the cut of all of them is so awful. I love the envelopes. The random images I love. I've had those for a little while now. For some time the banners were this artist's, let me see if I can find her art again. I doubt I've saved it, knowing me. But there was this artist who created like stop motion with pencil drawings, basically. Graphics, motion, you know what the fuck I'm speaking about. And I think it was beautiful. But ultimately, like, when I use things like my Notion, my Spotify, I want it to feel so me, and because it was someone else's art, I was like, it was beautiful, but I was like, this isn't me. I don't know how to explain that. It might feel a bit stupid to explain it like that. For a while my Spotify, like for a couple months, my Spotify was Klimt paintings, because I grew up around Klimt paintings. And I love them, but there actually isn't a lot of Klimt paintings, and I have a lot of playlists, so I started to feel really bugged out that half were Klimt and the rest were random, so hence the change. Yeah, and usually for banners I do GIFs. I just like the soft moving motion. A long time ago, 5 years ago, my original banners were like scenes from Wes Anderson films, Call Me by Your Name, things like that. So I've kind of reverted back to the movie-ish theme, but I don't like it, and I think I changed it for a reason. So I'm still figuring out what should be my next theme. I think the reason I do a lot of this is not just because I feel like everything is energy, but because I feel like I change, and then a lot of things don't come with me in that change, and I want everything to kind of, that is mine, to change with me. So for example, my branding, it's my YouTube branding, so you probably have seen it if you're already subscribed. Yeah, it's my YouTube branding. It's my branding on Twitter. It will be my branding on my new website that's getting done. So all of that is happening as well. I've had this new branding for a couple months now. I'm obsessed with it. I think this is the best branding I've done in a while. I feel super connected to it. So that's exciting. But yeah, it's kind of like everything tying up at the end of the year to like look the way that I want it to look and resonate with me. It's like when someone changes up their content, but it's just like all the background stuff that people don't really see or care about. It's more so like just for me, basically. So I do things like that. Other things I do is I create vision boards, mood boards, and also reflect on the last ones I made. So I did both of those. I haven't created the new ones. I do feel like not a lot has changed in terms of what I want to achieve. I have achieved some of those things already, which was cool to look back on. I do this with Pinterest and Canva. I do have a video that someone literally commented on the other day that was like, it's that time of year where I watch this again, which just cheered me up so much. But they were like, oh, time to watch this. It's my how to manifest with Pinterest. Essentially, I'm doing that, or trying to. But yeah, I do that a lot. I also do this thing. I don't know where I got this idea from. I have a feeling I did not come up with this. If I did, great, but I don't think I did. I have a Pinterest board, a private Pinterest board. However, you can still follow me on Pinterest, where only me and my closest friends can see it, and it's called Mia 3.0. I had one that was Mia 2.0, and then every time you feel like you have changed a lot, you keep going, 4.0, blah 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 blah. And then in that one board you have like 10 other boards, and then they can be whatever you want them to be. So for example, mine is like hair, body. By body I mean tattoos. That's all I've put in there in recent years. Definitely used to be like a weight thing of like gaining weight and things like that, and now I'm like fuck that shit, and I'm healthy, so everything's fine, and it's just tattoos. Routines, hobbies, relationships, food, like recipes you want to try, clothes, accessories, they're big ones. Socials is a big one for me, obviously, kind of planning like photos I want to take and things I like and blah blah blah. Home, etc, etc, etc. I think in one of my Pinterest videos I list out everything here, but that also will change with time. Like I said, the body one completely changed. You know, since I started this I've got 30 plus tattoos. You can't really see many of them, but you know. So the whole point is that everything is like mellifluous with you, like it changes and moves with you, and that's what I love about it. I do feel like when I start to feel like something is stagnant but I've moved on, time to change it up. So that's what I do as well. So I have Pinterest boards, and then I also have like mood / vision boards on Canva, but I get the images from Pinterest, so that's a big thing also. Hello, we good? You good? I also, at the end of the year, find myself in a position often where I haven't reached certain goals, but like stupid minimal goals, and I really use it as like December as a time of like consuming all the media that I wanted to consume throughout the year and just didn't have the time. So for example, I think I need to consume like 40 movies this month, which sounds ridiculous, trust me, I know, but I find it like a fun task. And then also I was sick, so like I'm usually sick this time of year, most people are. I find like it's a great little fun thing to do when you don't feel well, and also makes you feel a little bit productive even though you're not being productive. Productive rest, I guess, is the best way to put it. Same thing with TV shows. Like I've been sick for a while, and I literally the other day binged like every new season of Is It Cake? Which I love, by the way. So yeah, things like that. I like have those goals that I like, small goals I want to reach, and I like force myself in December to reach them, even if it's like binging like 40 short movies, which you can do in a day because some short films are literally a minute long. That's something like I've done before where I was like, there's no way I'm gonna finish 40 like feature-length films, let's watch 40 short films. And that opens up a pathway into media you wouldn't usually consume, blah blah, like things like that. And I just find that fun. I think that's a cool thing to do and explore. And then it also kind of leads to, okay, realistic goals for next year. How many movies did I watch this year? Do I want to set it higher? Do I want it the same? Do I want it lower? Feeling no pressure to kind of go above and beyond, but to just do, have those goals for yourself, not for anything else, to consume what you want to consume, to make sure you're consuming things that are not forced upon you, and also things that you might have wanted to consume for a long time. For example, like I've read 134 books so far this year. My goal was 100. Wasn't my intention, but here we are. Here we are, bro. I'm also about to start my next one. And like next year, my goal is not going to be like 300, it's still going to be like 105, something like that. It will go up by 5. Again, purely because I think once you go over that, naturally you're like really enjoying it and doing it out of passion. You know, you're not trying to reach a goal. But yeah, if you feel like you need to reach a goal, the best way to do that is to make it a fun thing and read things or watch things that are short and easy, but like new, that maybe you haven't explored before, etc. That's basically the intention of like those small goals, those little goals. Yeah, I do think that's it. I mean, I know that a lot of people usually do things like cleaning up their socials, or I don't really delete stuff as much. Maybe I should, I don't know. But I definitely declutter. I have done that a lot this year. I've done that a lot with clothes throughout the year. I do it every time I read books. Like I make sure that that's something I do throughout the year. It's like if I don't like a book, it's going to charity or something along those lines straight away. Because I have too many books as is. This is literally one of like 3 piles at the moment on my floors, because I have no space. And if you don't know, all my 3 walls, apart from this one where the window is, are cupboards. Tells you how many books that get sent to me, huh? So yeah, I do declutter, but I do it throughout the year so that it's not a massive thing at the end of the year, because I feel like I prefer at the end of the year to focus on these more fun things, I guess, like the rebranding and all of that stuff. So I would suggest decluttering, but do it your way. Like I could definitely declutter my Instagram feed, but it's overwhelming to think of, but I think I will do that at some point. I have already decluttered my Twitter throughout the year again. The thing is I have like 130k tweets or something, and it's in the last 5 years only. But that's because of, as I was speaking about in the beginning of this video, all that free content. I did the math, and over 5 years that's about 20k tweets alone. And then in the first 3 years of having that account, I was doing it 10 times more. So it's literally all just like free content from like free like spiritual content from when I started. And then I stopped about almost 3 years ago. And that, like, all of that content is now just me basically, but all of that stuff, like, that is just my stuff, has been decluttered for the most part. I can maybe go through it again one more time in the last month, but yeah, anything that feels like it holds on to old energy I like to get rid of. And also with Twitter it's really annoying because you can't delete old stuff past a certain point if you tweet a lot, and I just do, clearly, because I have to for work. And I don't declutter my YouTube, and I don't think I will ever declutter my YouTube because I feel like that's a nice time capsule and not many people follow it, so it feels a lot more personal than Twitter or Instagram or anything else I have. I think maybe if I got to a point where I gained a lot of followers on there, maybe I'd delete some old stuff and just be like, I want that for me again. So yeah, it's kind of teetering between the things of like, is this for me, is this for other people, like for work, and cluttering that stuff up. But in the physical home, I'm like constantly decluttering all the time. I definitely need to declutter my, count how many times I say declutter, my camera roll. I feel like I've been shit at doing that this year, which is so annoying because I went through like 2 years of being fucking amazing at that. But then I'm struggling a little bit and like on the teetering on the edge of, like, for example, this is my journal from, I did a whole journaling video, you can go check that out recently. This is the one that I had for 5 years, and then this is my brand new one because I finished this one. They're both from Papier. This is from the 𝙃𝙤𝙧𝙙𝙀 collaboration they did. So excited to start a new one. This one holds a lot of shit energy, and it's like full of shit that really isn't important for the most part, like mood tracker and it's just all depressed. Yeah, girl, me the fuck too. Literally depressed is the entire, like, but also I was 18 when I started this, so that's one thing. But I don't know whether to get rid of this. I asked a lot of people, a lot of like friends, a lot of them said keep it and like see how far you've come. Some said they'd set their shit on fire. I'm kind of at that point. I don't know which to go with, to be honest, so I'm still thinking about that. I decluttered a lot of my room recently anyway. Again, something I just kind of do throughout the year to keep it easier and that I can focus on fun things like this. Aside from that though, most things are done. I feel like there are things that are like yearly, like you do once that you need to do. So for example, I need to order my doctor prescription certificate, which is like, because I have several prescriptions a month and that becomes expensive. If you just buy the certificate, you don't have to buy for the prescriptions, and if you have a lot, then the prescription in comparison is very cheap to the prescriptions. I need to do that again this year for 2026 because I haven't done that yet. I don't even remember how to do that because again, it's one of those things you do once and then you don't do it for 12 months and your brain is like, what's that? But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Again, very niche things, but I feel like these are some cute, good reminders to do things, or maybe might inspire you to do your own things, your own versions of these. Most of these are fun things. I like doing all of this, and also I love a to-do list. I do have OCD, so if my OCD girls out there relate, this is for you. But anyways, I hope you had fun watching this. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.